Ahoy, Let's Watchers, it's me, your valiant Captain Vasco. In the last episode, we played babysitter for a bunch of horrible scorpion-spawn babies. Yay! In this one, we get to do the best level in this whole game. Are you excited? I'm excited, and I'm pretty sure I'm still gonna embarrass myself pretty badly. But, you know, that's just the name of the game, when the game is Let's Play Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. So let's get on with the show. How's everybody doing? I'm doing pretty party time. I don't know what that means, but I think it's good, so yay, that's a good thing. Gonna try not to talk especially hard during the cutscenes today, because I'm a big fan of most of the dialogue in this level. And I have a question to pose to you, the viewers, on that in a bit.
Pain Factor! With your host, the anti-hero for hire, the mask for your task, the guy who won't die, Deadpool!
Hi, Ma, and welcome to Pain Factor, the only show where you compete for your life.
And remember, viewers, I'm available for Black Ops missions, assassinations, and birthday parties.
I don't know what's weirder, that this guy can somehow come back from the dead, or that they gave him a TV show.
Coming up, we've got a very special Pain Factor, with a very special guest running the gauntlet.
Who?
You, Spider-Man.
Wait, what?
That's right.
Come on
Our guest
down.
today will be the one, the only, the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Because he needs this.
Television, you are a cruel mistress.
Amen to that, Spider-Man.
You know you can run inside.
Wow, that's not too big or anything. Can somebody say overcompensating?
Spidey! Can I call you Spidey? Hey, thanks so much for being part of our little webisode.
Because you shoot the web. Okay,
Hey, can I get you anything before we start? Soda, bottled water?
How about the fragment?
Okay, good one. Okay, here we go. Picture up in 3, 2, and... Welcome, welcome, welcome to Pain Factor! Is there a mute button for him?
Alright, so welcome to the world of Deadpool, the second act level for Ultimate Spider-Man.
The terrifying, the deadly, the amazing Spider-Man!
The first fun fact about this level
Tasteful
is that you could take damage from the fire here in this opening cutscene. I found that interesting.
Not a bad entrance. Mine's gonna be better though later on in the level. But could you put a little more oomph in it? You know, for the cameras. This is going out live to millions of viewers.
I'll show you what I think.
Hey! that was a
Apparently
lie.
I don't
You
like
just
your
killed.
camera,
Now what am I gonna tell
or the cut of
folks?
your jib.
Tell them it was a mercy killing. If they've seen your show...
Listen, Webby, I can't have you swinging around in your footy pajamas destroying my cameras. You're gonna have to tangle with my army. And by army, I mean production assistants. And by production assistants, I mean unpaid interns. And by unpaid interns, I mean fans. You're gonna have to tangle with my fans.
Lamest supervillain ever.
You know, as someone aspiring to get into television, and who worked on Deadliest Warrior as an intern, essentially, this one hits a little close to home. And by this one, I mean that speech you just gave. Now, I've spoken in the past about, you know, the accelerated vision in the rage mode, and, like, you know, for the most part, I don't feel like they contribute a huge amount. I think this is the best level in the game for either of them. Like, just you can make good use of the rage mode in this level, and like it feels organic. Like the level is designed to reward you for using those skills well, like knowing when and how to utilize the rage mode most effectively. And I think that's cool. Like, I like it when a game rewards you for doing something that you're supposed to want to do. I don't like it when a game beats you over the head with a baseball bat and then jumps around like some sort of acrobat. I don't like that. I don't like the double bat treatment. This isn't Batman, it's Spider-Man.
Easy on the merchandise, pal.
And speaking of my relation to television, I made a Price is Right reference earlier. If you didn't catch it, then you're probably not a college student or like senior citizen, as they are the primary audience of that show. But last year, I had the privilege of going to a taping of that show, and boy, you have to be there like super early. Like, I went with my parents. We got there, like, relatively late in the day. I mean, compared to, you know, a lot of the people. Like, we got there at, like, 7. And, like, we were not the front of the line by any means. I think we were actually fairly close to the back of the group of people who actually got in. And to, like, print tickets online and then, like, still stand in line. It was weird. It was a weird, wacky thing. But it was a lot of fun. I did not win a new car, however, or a vacation to some place I don't want to go. Which was a bummer, but, you know. Now that I live in California, who knows? Maybe someday. But, yeah, getting back to the level, and the thing I'm supposed to be doing, let's playing this game. It's an awkward thing to try and say. So actually, why don't we take a break in mid-air to talk about the Web of Destiny here. So obviously we completed that first challenge in like the first minute of the level. It's called Smile. You destroy one camera. It's in the first room. You have to punch it to move on. Bob's your uncle. So what are the other things that we can see right now? Got the fanboy beatdown, which is defeat 50 fanboys. And fanboys, I think fanboys counts all of the enemy types in this level. But if it doesn't, it counts all the ones with the machine guns and the baseball bats, which are the bulk of the people that you'll be fighting in this level. We got technical difficulties. That's destroy all the cameras on the first oil rig. Yeah, there's more than one oil rig. Spoiler alert! Publicity stunt, take out 15 fanboys during one of the commercial breaks. It's sort of hard to explain without you seeing it, but you'll see it. It'll be fairly obvious. Give me that! Disarm 10 fanboy gunners. So this is a level where you're actually strongly encouraged to use the disarm technique that I got early on because I like it so much. I think in my initial playthrough I didn't buy it until this level because this challenge requires it, and then when I did I was disappointed that I hadn't done it sooner. So I got it really early while playing through for the Let's Play, and I haven't really looked back. It's pretty sweet. But yeah, this level's actually engineered such that I think more than any other one I could think of at least, I really just want to spam the disarm. It's very useful. It's a very challenging level. The enemies are tougher than usual, I think. And I strongly suspect that's because you have access to Rage Mode, which lets you do extra damage and be a huge jerk to everyone nearby. So we got next challenge is Bot Bag Surprise, where you need to hit 5 fanboys by detonating Deadpool bot bags. This one can be hard, or it can be simple. It depends a little bit on your luck. I remember the first time I played through, I had a little bit of a challenging time with it, and then when I did my practice playthroughs, it seemed a lot easier. So I don't know. Your experience may vary. Huge surprise! Win! Is that in all capitals? Why is that in all capitals? Win the fight against the first huge Deadpool fan. It'll be apparent which ones are the huge fans, because it's a very literal term. And that covers all of them for now, right? Yes, it does. Okay, so the main goal throughout the Deadpool level is to take out cameras. Like, for whatever reason, Ultimate Spider-Man is like super camera shy, and so he does not appreciate like all these cameras that Deadpool has set up. Now, if you're wondering why I'm just like wandering out into the middle of nowhere, it's not so much the middle of nowhere. You can obviously see this tower, but there's two reasons for that. First is this camera. Oh my goodness gracious! Rage! It's not even the Vulture level. Oh man, I had such rage then. Oh, did I ruin this? No, it's still good. We're still good. Oh, I already got anger management. I remember that one being a lot harder too.
Back to normal.
So does that open up anything on the web? It does. Cool. So I accidentally did a challenge. I wasn't even actually trying to do that one. It's called anger management. Take down 5 fanboys in one rage mode. It's actually not that hard. There's many places in this level where you can get that one done. You just have to do it smart. There's a couple of places where it's really easy to do it if you just activate it at the right time. So let's see. Huge disappointment. Take down 3 huge Deadpool fans by performing the finishing grab. That's that like cutscene move on the big old guys. I've done it on other enemies in the past. And this actually touches on the other reason why I came out to the middle of nowhere. The emblem collector for this level. Collect 90 spider emblems. 90. That's not your screen. It actually says 90. It's a big number.
Relatively speaking.
Of spider emblems. So you kind of got to get them wherever you can. Here's one. Belongs to me. There's one over here. I think I already got those. However, on top of this big, giant contraption, there's a walkway that shoots steam at you angrily, and also has some more spider emblems on it. And maybe a bad guy. I don't remember. Shut up. Be better at this game, me. One up here. There's usually one at the top of every, like, tower-like structure. So if you're at a loss for finding the last couple, always check the high ground. It's good for lightsaber duels, and it's good for Spider-Man.
Can those be redeemed for cash?
So, yeah, that reminds me of another thing that I want to touch on. So, like Deadpool, he really likes to talk a lot, and I find him entertaining. I don't know. I mean, I didn't know a ton about Deadpool going into this level. I mean, I was vaguely familiar with him as a Marvel character. And, but so, like, earlier I mentioned there was something I wanted to ask you guys about in the comments, and it pertains to Deadpool. So, like, while I was, like, practicing for this level, I was experiencing some problems with the level that I'm hoping not to encounter this playthrough, because they're of a more technical nature than me just screwing up a challenge, like, you know, my usual difficulties. But the thing I wanted to ask is, I've seen a lot of people say that they're not big fans of Deadpool. They think he's overbearing. They think he talks too much. And I don't know. I found him pretty consistently entertaining through the level. So let me know what you think in the comments. You know, throughout the level, because obviously there's gonna be. Did I just get stuck in a wall for a second there? That was weird. I'll try to remember to leave an annotation confirming that when I can do a slow-mo replay for myself. Man, look at all this stuff going on. There's all these things popping up telling me stuff I'm doing. This level's so complicated. Now, one of the interesting things about this level, and this is the actual reason why this level is my favorite, is that this is really the only, like, open-world level in the game. Like, this is the closest to a sandbox type thing you'll experience in Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. Yeah, took out both those guys at one time. Double team. Now I'm seeing... There it is. Spider Emblem. You belong to me now. Get in my belly. For some reason, I'll continue working under the assumption that I'm eating these things. Yes, there's a bunch of guys here. Now, one of the biggest problems I have with this level is actually... Alright, this is where I am. Okay. I think I need a little bit more rage meter. No, that's just my full capacity right now. So this is one of the places where it's actually easiest to get the anger management challenge completed for this level. There's just this doorway where, like, a bunch of guys will continue coming out as you beat them up. And rage mode is... You're definitely going to want to use rage mode here. It's just like, this would take you a really long time and be a real pain in the ass if you weren't using...
Hey, thanks for helping me work out my aggression.
If you weren't using the rage mode. And I'm already up to 47 out of 50 fanboys defeated. See, we're off to a really strong start here. I don't know what I'm so worried about. It's not true at all. I know exactly what I'm worried about. And I interrupted myself from explaining what that is. I'm worried about getting lost repeatedly. As I mentioned before, destroying all the cameras in each section of the level is sort of your goal throughout, you know, most of this level. The fact that you have such an open world makes it reasonably easy to get lost. Alright, fanboy beatdown completed. It makes it reasonably easy to get lost and to, like, waste a bunch of unnecessary time trying to figure out where all the cameras are. And I've tried to set aside the time to find out where they all are, but honestly, it's just a very massive level. And while I enjoy the fact that there's a lot of places to go and a lot of freedom of movement, it also means that, well, part of the level design is also that everything looks fairly similar, being, you know, a couple of large oil rigs. So it's fairly easy to get lost, even though there's a couple of distinctive areas that can sort of act as landmarks to help you get around the level. That didn't actually open up anything interesting on the Web of Destiny. Ooh, pardon me. So, let's go down here where there's a bunch of cameras. I remember this place. How's it going, this place? Oh, accidentally picked up a box. Way to go, context-sensitive B button. Sometimes forget that this one's here. I usually remember the ones on either side of the staircase down there. But for some reason, I often forget that there's a third one up here. Maybe because it's not as much symmetrical as the other ones. Maybe it's because I'm really good at making up excuses for why I'm bad at things. I don't know. It's hard to say. Alright, so 7 fanboys disarmed. Got some more spider emblem tokens. Don't the guys usually come out when I break the cameras? There's usually some guys here. There's this guy. What's with the wet down? I don't remember this area being, like, reflective and moistened.
Not bad.
Yeah, there's a word people don't like. Ooh, hey, fire. Yeah, so the big guys here, sort of like the, sort of like in the Vulture. I guess all the, sort of medium difficulty generic enemies can do this at this point, but I didn't remember this being the case. But the guys like the one I'm fighting now, this biggish guy, they throw grenades. Only their grenades are like fire grenades instead of just like regular explosions. So they like project these jets of fire in multiple directions. They throw out multiples at a time, and sometimes you can sort of get trapped in an area where you're just like surrounded by fire in a fist fight. It's fairly annoying, but it's pretty easy to get out of because the fire isn't tall. It's just annoying. Yeah. Turn on my spider sense. Oh, good. I accidentally found the last camera. Look how cool I am. Cutscene time.
I wouldn't have a backup plan? This is live TV, baby! The show must go on!
Who's shooting at me? I don't appreciate it. Stop the back sass, you machine gun guys. Ooh. Shouldn't stand on the superheated steam. That doesn't make any sense. Let's get this challenge.
Give me that.
Uh-oh. Grenades. Cool, I earned upgrades. And I'm on fire. No, like actually on fire. For a second there I was sort of burning. But it's cool. I got better. Nobody asked you, Captain Large Guy. Now here's an interesting thing I learned from the loading screen tips, which are apparently good for something, even though most of them are just sort of like, here's a weird fact about Spider-Man continuity that you've never heard of and probably don't actually care much about. But it mentions that captains, who I assume are those like medium-range guys, stop climbing on walls, it's bad. It's blah, 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 blah. But apparently captains increase the amount of damage that other enemies do. And, you know, I think this is a pretty good time to call this level a level, because we've accomplished several challenges, and I'm pretty sure I'm about to invoke a cutscene that's a reasonable time commitment. And, you know, I want to keep these episodes kind of even, so that when I get to the end I don't just have like a 5-minute episode. That's what I've been trying to do on these various levels, if you hadn't noticed. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you should like, subscribe, and leave comments telling me that you liked it. You should also leave comments telling me what you think about Deadpool and his sense of humor, and if you think he's annoying. And continue to do so as I play through the level, because he's going to keep talking. However, I am going to stop talking right now, and I will see you next time for more Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions in this lovely level featuring Deadpool. Later, everybody.
Well, I'm the only one here. Who do you think you're pausing on?